4 months later.
Oh, hey, welcome back to the channel. We're finally working in the shop again. I know I haven't shown my face in a while, but it's fine. So we're officially through busy season of summer with our other business, and we're back on the Challenger now for the next while. So we got lots of goodies lined up on the floor here. So that's the latest thing we've been working on. We got the floor section over our diff. That still needs a little bit more work, a few more welds ground, that kind of stuff. But that's pretty close to going in. And then the big thing right in front of me here is making room for our 335s. So we're gonna be running the Michelin, what did we buy here? Pilot Super Sports for this car, front and rear. And in the front here, we got the, this is not the front, this is the back. We got the 335, 3520s. And this is what was in there before. So the previous shop deemed that this would fit just wonderfully here. And in reality, it was nowhere near fitting. So this got chopped out in lieu of welding this nice big thing in. So this is my latest creation over the last, I don't know, couple weeks, better not be months. But a couple weeks, so this is a wheel tub for the driver's side of the car. And it's been stitched together, it's all tigged, nice bead roll, and this thing fits. Or a 335, absolutely no problem. So we have about 3/4 inch on this side, and the lip here, I'm not sure yet, probably 1/2 to 3/4 inch as well. But as you can see in the background, a lot of chopping's been going on with the car. So if you come this way, we'll show you what we did here. So I remember hinting at a bit of a surprise that we were going to be doing to the back end of this car that we didn't intentionally or didn't initially plan on doing. And that was cutting the wide body off, because the wide body looks stupid. In everybody's opinion that was here, including the owner, he didn't really like it that much either. So yeah, we managed to come across the rare driver's side fender for the Challenger. That was the reason why we weren't going to do it in the first place, but now we are. So hence why this is all wide open now. So we just cut the old wide body off, it's sitting on the shelf there. And then just gutted everything from the inside out to make room for our big tub. And then, you know, just changing brackets, everything. This thing's kind of just hanging in midair. And yeah, everything back here is going to be new. That is not already cut out. Everything that stays, and then we're just doing our full joint across the top. So yeah, this side's pretty well done in the inner tub and quarter department, but we're going to be working on the other side. So yeah, I'll show you here kind of what we got going on, the beginnings to our tubs. So this is all rolled, hammer formed around an MDF form. It ended up working out way better than you know, dinking with metal in the air. So this is just clamped to a form, and then the roll was put in with a nice, I don't know, piece of wood. So I became a woodworker for a little bit, which is not a big deal. This is all bead rolled and welded, obviously along the inside. Right now we're just cutting the structure out, making sure this thing fits, making sure it's level with the other side, and then we can continue putting on like inner structure and whatnot in there. But other than that, I mean, inside the car, we haven't really made much progress in a while. So it's just been cleaned up because we got a lot of moisture here and things tend to rust pretty quick. So yeah, this is all ready to continue working on. This is gonna be a busy next few months here because we got some other stuff going on, and yeah, this has got to be done quite sooner than later. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, I'm sure in this video you'll see some other stuff too. We're working on a 68 Firebird for a customer right now, just getting his drivetrain put back together. He just got his motor redone, and looking to go racing this year yet. And we're hoping to we'll have a feature on this car, just like we did Lucas's car as well. So yeah, let's get back to working. I can't stand around for too long anymore. 43. Good. Boom! The tape measure works. Sometimes. Pretty level. How do I look? Do I look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame here? Shit. I don't even know how to make that straighter. Like this, right? Who's popping? Oh! Oh! Oh, yes. Oh. My nice Princess Auto Tool. Dialed. Even though I got the fender right there, now I just made another step for me having to measure this thing. It's perfect. It's all in the stance. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just welding up inside the fender here, making it look a little bit more like stock. Once again, the factory did it a certain way just because they knew what they were doing, and I'm building a car in like a year, so take with that what you will. Anyways, we just welded this pad on here, and that's going to be our spot weld pad. So when we spot weld the inner tub to the structure, we're actually welding it to there instead of like MIG welding little MIG blotches all the way down, and then those blotches tend to rip the metal because, and it's on edge, vibrating together. It's not the greatest. Granted, that is what we're going to be doing here, but this is also a lower stress part. This is a big brace. This is for the convertible top and for this section of the body here. So that's why we're doing it this way. And yeah, so we're going to pull this out again and work on some other part of it. And I don't really know what, probably the kick out part here, like on the other side. We got to kick it out to meet up with the rocker panel here and to clear our inner fender. So next thing on the list is going to be probably cutting this, and then actually we're going to whip out the quarter panel, which I don't remember which side was our lucky side. I think it was the driver's side, but yeah, we're going to whip out the quarter panel, probably trim it up, and then actually build the flange here that mates to the quarter panel. So we build it from the flange out and then join it up with this part, just because it's the only way that makes sense for me to do it with my skill set right now. So yeah, here we go. Oh yes! Don't worry, even if you weren't filming, I'd still be making these sound effects. Just ask Lucas, except for yesterday. Yesterday was a little off. I knew it. I knew it. You can't go one clip without this guy making sound effects in the background. Yeah, anyways.
Wouldn't that be good? See?
Anyways.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, this is the thing that we were kind of teasing before. I know I mentioned it earlier in the video, but we got new quarters for this car, as hard as they are to come by for these Challengers, especially with recent events and whatnot. So, we didn't end up getting two of the same. So, we got one from Dynacorn that we sourced in Canada, and then this one is the driver's side, and we got this from AMD. So I haven't opened that one and actually like installed it yet, so I don't know the fitment differences between the two. They do look pretty good, but yeah, this one's ready to, like, this one's all cleat-coat up and ready to be like welded on eventually. We'll just have to cut the gap on top and weld there, and then the door gap needs some work, but that's besides the point. Right now we're just going to be filling the marker light hole. You got the patch in here. If you come here, this is a kind of a tip for TIG welding patches. So 0 gap is what you want to see. 0 gap, both pieces of metal level. And honestly, I'm going to go back and I'm going to tack this even a little bit more, because the more it's tacked, the less likely the two pieces of metal are to go like this as you're welding. Now, for me, there's two different types of people that TIG weld patches in. Some of them TIG weld an inch at a time and then let it cool down, bodywork each inch. And then other guys, if it's tacked properly, this is the boat that I'm in, you just go around, you weld the whole thing, let the whole thing warp equally, as long as your heat's equal and you're not like burning it here and then going cold here and that kind of stuff. You let the whole thing warp, and then you just have to evenly hammer and dolly it back out. Just stretch the weld back out, and then you'll be right back to square one and nice and flat, ready to grind, and then ready for filler. Nothing here is going to be like, we're not building a Maximus car like Nelson Racing Engines, so every car you work on gets filler, doesn't matter. So as good as it's going to be, it's what it's going to be. You try to get like less than an eighth, around the 1/16th mark at worst. And yeah, so here we go. We're going to weld this patch out and see how it goes. Yeah, a full 10 send right there. She moved, but we're gonna get it back with some hammer and dolly work right away. Just let this cool down to room temperature. Grind the top off, and then I'll show you. But we got an oil can here that we got to take care of. But since we know it all stretched the same or shrunk the same, we'll just go back and stretch it the same. Go back around. So we'll let this air cool for a bit. Grind the top off and hammer and dolly it. Very nice. Okay. Good enough for now. Buddy is my buddy. Just kidding. It's Ron's buddy. Oh, good old Ron. Boom! Wow, can't even tell I worked on it. Done. Come back in like 6 years, we'll see the rest of it. I'm only half joking. Okay, now since Dodgers are so fun, you have to buy the coupe quarters and section them, obviously, rather than being able to join them where the lead seam is and that kind of stuff on a convertible. So this car is just going to get cut just like the other side. Somewhere around there, you just weld it together. I'm not going to tell you what kind of welding though. I don't want you to know my sins. It's getting stick welded, you got me. So this thing, obviously we need to shave the light, and then we need to shave our gas filler hole, because this is also not getting used. It's too big and kind of ugly, so might get changed to something else. I don't know yet. We haven't made it that far, clearly. There's no floor in the back. So, yeah, I'm just gonna mark this out, section it, and get it fitting on the back of the car. Paint me like one of your French girls. Leave this so then when one man is working on this, he can hang it over the edge. Now this helps locate where this body line is gonna be on the back side, because the front body lines are dictated by the door and the bottom, and the back one we're going to match up to the other side, but this helps just lapping it over the top here. So I'm just going to leave this for now, and then when it comes time to weld it, cut it back 3/4 of an inch or whatever, and our joint line will be there, not here. Because famously on these Chinese or Taiwanese stampings, these lines don't match like radii wise to the 1970s stampings. I found that on GM stuff, the Dodge stuff too. So if you just cut it away or you use the whole thing, which we can't use the whole thing because it's convertible, You just cut the line away, and then you use the factory Dodge edge here, and then you put your weld joint here. Just avoids a lot of problems with different radiuses and lining stuff up and looking down the side of the car and things like that. So that's why we do it this way. What was that? Clearly you're not on the football team. Whoa, you gotta pay for that view. For sale, $2,500 right here. To any loving Mopar guy. It's kind of bent though. You'll have that on the new jobs. Then my health insurance is gonna watch this video and be like, oh yeah, denied. You wouldn't believe that, but it actually sort of fits. Pretty much finished, ready for SEMA. You booked the car hauler yet? Deck of the wreck it, spring it all the way down there, or? Yeah? Okay. Mirror it over. Oh my goodness. So much incriminating footage. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know, today was a busy day, you know, I got some stuff done. Now, the other side, cut apart. We're not gonna go over there because the lighting is bad, but we got the quarter fitting on this side. Obviously it fits half decent. We're gonna work this gap yet. No big deal. The other side fits quite a bit better than this side so far, but that's so far. So that's a Dynacorn side, and this is an AMD side. As of right now, the Dynacorn does look better. But anyways, we got the other one fitting, sort of. It's cleat-coat on with like 2 or 3, so it's getting ready to work the inner lip tomorrow or next week or whatever, whenever we get back on it. And then we got a lot of work to do on the door. That side of the door is twisted, so we got to work that to make it line up with the body. But yeah, fairly decent progress and decent update on this thing since we haven't done it in like 4 months. So yeah, I don't know. How much else do you want to talk about? Not anything. You know, we welded this thing up. Looks good, feels good.
Maybe I need gas. Why is there a hole in the center?
Oh, you gonna port the gasket too?
No. Holly Sniper, fucking garbage. Doo 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 doo. It's fucking trash. I fucking hate this system. Oh.